Today, I want to talk to you about the power of focusing on your own path in a way that is not about pride or being selfish. So many people are tired, sad, and confused, not because they lack talent, but because their attention is spread too thin. They try to please everyone, keep up with everyone, and compare themselves to everyone they see. I want you to put everything you have into focusing on your own journey. I want to be very clear today that this is not about being self-centered or ignoring the needs of the people around you. It is about being a good caretaker of what you have. God has given you one life, one mind, one heart, and one specific job to do. If you do not take responsibility for that, no one else can do it for you. Many times, God tells people to look after their own garden. So often we look at other people to get their approval. We watch what they are doing, how fast they are moving, and how blessed they seem to be. Without realizing it, we lose sight of our own path. God never asked you to run a race that belongs to someone else. He wants you to live your life even if it looks different from others. Comparison is one of the greatest tools of the enemy. He will always try to get you unfocused. He will try to make you feel offended, worried, or busy second-guessing yourself. The moment you take your eyes off your own path, you lose the peace that you deserve. Some thoughts are just distractions dressed up as concerns. Focusing on yourself also means understanding that your value does not come from the opinions of people. If you let others define you, they can also destroy you. When you know who you are in God, you do not need their confirmation. You already have divine approval. God said you are chosen, equipped, and capable. When you focus on that truth, your confidence begins to rise naturally. So many people are stressed because they are trying to live up to expectations that God never put on them. You have more strength to give when you stop wasting it on things that do not matter. Growth takes time. You do not always see the progress immediately, but God is developing your character and strengthening your faith. He is preparing you for what is ahead. If you rush ahead of God, you might get there faster, but you won't be ready for the responsibility. Often we feel insecure because we lost our focus. Confidence comes from knowing who you are and where you are going. You should not be distracted by the applause or the criticism of others. Stop blaming your circumstances and start believing that God can use anything to move you forward. If you are not careful, the noise of the world will drown out your direction. God speaks in the stillness. When you quiet the distractions and focus inward, clarity will come. You may not get all the answers at once, but you will get enough peace to take the next step. There will be seasons when it feels like everyone else is passing you by. They are getting promoted or recognized, and you are wondering if you have been forgotten. But focusing on your own journey reminds you that a delay is not a denial. God is intentional and knows exactly when you are ready. If you stay focused, faithful, and patient, what is meant for you will not pass you by. Focusing on yourself also means giving yourself grace because you are human. Do not quit on yourself. Get back up when you fall. The enemy would love for you to focus on your flaws so much that you forget your strengths. But God sees the whole picture. He sees who you are becoming, not just where you are right now. When you focus on your growth daily, you start to see small breakthroughs. Over time, healthy thinking and living with integrity turn into something powerful. You are building a foundation for the blessings God has for you. I truly believe that some of the greatest breakthroughs happen when you stop looking at others and start looking at what God is doing in you. As you do this, your confidence will grow and your faith will deepen. You won't feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. You won't feel pressured to prove anything. You will know that as long as you are honoring God and growing daily, you are exactly where you need to be. Focus is not about being alone. It is about alignment. When you are aligned, nothing can stop what God has already planned for your life. When you begin to silence the noise and the comparisons, something powerful happens inside you. Your mind becomes clearer, your heart becomes lighter, and your spirit becomes stronger. One of the biggest reasons people struggle today is not a lack of talent, but a lack of focus. We live in a world that constantly pulls at our attention. Social media opinions and endless noise compete for your focus every single day. If you are not intentional, you will spend your life reacting instead of becoming who you were created to be. Comparison is especially dangerous because it looks harmless. You tell yourself you are just observing or keeping up, but slowly it steals your joy. You start measuring your life against someone else's best moments. You see their success, but not their sacrifice. You see their smile, but not their struggle. God never intended for you to live your life looking sideways. When you compare, you lose clarity. When you focus, you gain confidence. God designed you with a unique fingerprint and a unique calling. When you compare your beginning to someone else's middle, you will always feel behind. But the truth is, you are right on schedule according to the plan. When you silence comparison, you free yourself from pressure. You stop rushing and stressing, and you start trusting. Distractions do not always come as bad things. Sometimes they come as good opportunities that are not God's opportunities. They come as noise that sounds important but pulls you away from what truly matters. If the enemy cannot destroy your purpose, he will try to distract you from it. He will keep you busy but not productive. That is why focusing on your own path is so critical. It brings you back to the center. It reminds you of what God spoke to you, not what everyone else is saying. When you quiet the noise, you begin to hear God more clearly. He is always speaking, but often we are too distracted to listen. Our minds are full of worry and fear, and we overanalyze every situation, but God speaks in peace. When you quiet the noise, direction comes. You might not hear a loud voice, but you will feel a settled confidence and a sense of clarity deep inside. So many people are confused about their future, not because God isn't guiding them, but because they are listening to too many voices. One person says, do this, another says, do that. But when you focus on yourself, you stop needing everyone's approval. You understand that God's direction for your life might not make sense to everyone else, and that is okay. The more you compare, the more you question your own calling. You forget how far you have come because you are too busy looking at how far someone else has gone. When you silence comparison, you start appreciating your own progress. You recognize the growth God has already done in you. Some seasons are meant for hidden growth. People miss great opportunities because they are distracted by others. They focus on being noticed instead of being faithful. They are so busy watching others that they stop working on themselves. Focusing on your own path brings discipline, and discipline brings growth. It also means protecting your energy. Not every noise deserves a response. Some people will misunderstand you no matter what you do. If you focus on pleasing them, you will lose your way. When you focus on your purpose, you are not easily offended. You don't let small things steal your peace. You understand that staying focused is more important than being right. Comparison can even affect your faith. You see God blessing someone else and you start asking, what about me? But when you focus, you realize that God has more than enough blessings for everyone. Someone else's success does not delay yours. God is not limited. He knows exactly what you need and when you need it. Focusing on yourself helps you trust God's timing. When distractions are silenced, your confidence grows from the inside. You don't need constant likes or praise. You know who you are even when no one is watching. That kind of confidence is strong and steady. It also helps you manage your time better. You stop wasting hours on things that don't help you. You become more intentional with your thoughts and your actions. You understand that every choice is moving you closer to your purpose or further away. When you silence distractions, you choose growth over comfort. There will always be moments when you feel tempted to look around and compare, but you have to bring your mind back to your own work. Over time, peace becomes your default state. Silencing distractions does not mean isolating yourself. It means being selective about what deserves your attention. Even Jesus went to quiet places to pray. He understood the power of focus. If he needed quiet time to stay aligned, we certainly do as well. When you focus on yourself, you actually become better at helping others. You cannot pour from an empty cup. When you are grounded, you have something real to give. I truly believe many people are just one decision away from a breakthrough. That decision is to stop comparing and start focusing, stop scrolling and start building. God has placed everything you need inside you. The moment you silence the noise, you step into a level of growth that no one can take from you. A lot of people wait for life to change before they change themselves, but real change happens the other way around. When you focus on yourself consistently, even in small ways, you are planting seeds for your future. God works through a process, and that process is fueled by daily effort. Your mindset is the foundation of everything. How you think determines how you feel and how you act. If you allow negative thoughts to take over, they will limit you. But when you focus on renewing your mind, you see life differently. You stop expecting the worst and start looking for God's goodness. You stop labeling yourself by your past. Focusing on yourself means taking responsibility for your thoughts. Every day, negative thoughts will try to tell you that you are not good enough. Those thoughts are just distractions. You do not have to accept them. When you focus on your mindset, you replace lies with the truth. You remind yourself that God has already equipped you. Over time, those positive thoughts become your natural way of thinking. Investing in your mindset also means being careful about what you listen to and read. If you feed on negativity, your spirit will feel heavy. But when you focus, you choose words that build you up. You choose environments that inspire you to grow. Little by little, your inner world becomes stronger. Along with your mind, your character is a great investment. Talent might open a door, but character keeps it open. God is interested in who you are becoming. When you focus on character, you choose to do the right thing even when it is hard. You choose to be humble and consistent even when no one is watching. These quiet decisions shape a life that has a real impact. Character is built in private. It is built when you keep your word and treat people with kindness. Focusing on yourself means you stop blaming others for your problems and start taking ownership of your own attitude. You realize that how you respond to life matters. You may not control what happens, but you control who you become. There will be moments when taking a shortcut looks easier, but when you invest in your character, you trust that God honors honesty. You understand that shortcuts don't give you lasting peace. When you focus on being the right person, God will bring the right opportunities to you. Purpose is another area that needs daily work. Purpose isn't found overnight. It unfolds as you stay faithful step by step. Many people are frustrated because they want a big future without being faithful right now. Focusing on yourself means you do what you can with what you have. Every small act of obedience is preparing you for something bigger. When you invest in your purpose, you stop measuring success by speed. Instead, you measure it by how well you are following your path. Ask yourself if you are growing and honoring God with your gifts. Discipline is also required. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline keeps you moving. There will be days you don't feel like doing the hard work of growth, but when you focus, you show up anyway. Consistency is better than intensity. Small habits practiced every day will take you further than a big burst of effort once in a while. When you invest in yourself daily, you also learn to be patient. You stop getting discouraged when things take time. God is not in a hurry, and you don't have to be either. What He is building in you is meant to last. Focusing on yourself also means using your words wisely. What you say about your life matters. If you speak about fear, you will limit your growth. But if you speak about hope and faith, you activate your potential. Words are like seeds that produce your future. As you invest in your mind, character, and purpose, you will notice a change in how you handle challenges. Your perspective will change. You won't give up as easily. You will have an inner strength that comes from knowing you are growing even through the hard times. This strength comes from your daily habits. People might not notice your growth at first, and that is fine. This season is about becoming who you were called to be. When the time is right, your progress will show naturally. Investing in yourself makes you ready for more responsibility and more blessings. As you grow on the inside, you make room for new things on the outside. This is why focus is so powerful. There will be times when it feels like you are giving more than you are getting. You are working hard, but things seem slow. Do not be discouraged. Seeds grow underground before they break through the soil. What you are doing today is taking root. God sees every effort and every quiet decision to keep going. When you focus on yourself this way, you stop needing people to tell you that you are doing a good job. You gain a quiet confidence. You are no longer shaken by delays because you know you are moving forward. Daily investment is transformational. It is about choosing growth and faith every single day. When you decide to commit to this journey of self-focus, you must understand that your growth is a private matter before it becomes a public reality. A lot of people fail because they want the harvest without the season of planting. They want everyone to see the fruit, but they are not willing to do the work in the dirt where no one is looking. Focus is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It requires you to say no to good things so that you can say yes to the best things. You have to realize that you cannot carry everyone else's baggage and still run your own race at full speed. This is why setting boundaries is not mean. It is necessary for your survival and your success. If you are always available to everyone else, you will never be available to your own purpose. You have to learn to protect your time and your energy like it is gold. Every hour you spend worrying about someone else's life is an hour you have stolen from your own future. When you start to value yourself enough to focus inward, you will notice that the wrong people start to leave your life. They were only there because you were easy to distract. But the right people, the ones who truly care about your growth, will respect your focus. They will understand when you need to pull back to recharge and build. They will encourage your discipline instead of trying to make you feel guilty for it. Focusing on yourself also changes the way you look at failure. Instead of seeing a mistake as a sign that you should stop, you start to see it as a lesson that helps you grow. You realize that every person who has ever done something great had to go through a period of being tested. The test is not there to stop you. It is there to see if you can stay focused even when things go wrong. If you can keep your eyes on the goal while you are walking through a storm, you are developing a strength that cannot be bought. This inner strength is what will sustain you when you finally reach the top. Many people reach success only to lose it because they didn't have the internal focus to handle the pressure. But because you are building your foundation daily, you will be able to stand firm. You must also be careful about the stories you tell yourself in your mind. If you tell yourself that you are stuck or that you have missed your chance, your focus will naturally shift toward regret. Regret is a massive distraction that keeps you living in a version of the past that you cannot change. You have to shift your focus to the present moment. Right now is the only time you have the power to make a change. Even a small decision made today, like reading a book for 10 minutes or practicing a new skill, is an investment that pays off later. You don't have to change your whole life in 24 hours. You just have to win the battle for your attention today. As you move forward, remember that God is the one who gives you the power to focus. When you feel your mind wandering or your heart getting heavy with comparison, take a moment to be still. Ask for clarity and peace. You will find that when you align your focus with your divine purpose, the path becomes much clearer. The noise of the world starts to fade into the background, and the voice of your own potential starts to get louder. You were not created to be a copy of someone else. You were created to be a masterpiece. That masterpiece is only revealed when you stop looking at the other canvases and start focusing on the strokes you are making on your own. Keep going, keep growing, and keep your eyes on the path that was made specifically for you. One of the most important parts of this journey is learning how to handle the pressure of being misunderstood. When you start focusing on yourself and your growth, people might think you are changing for the worse. They may say you are being distant or that you are not the same person anymore. You have to be okay with being the villain in someone else's story if it means being the hero in your own. You cannot let the fear of what people think pull you back into old habits that you have worked so hard to leave behind. True growth often requires a season of being alone so you can hear your own thoughts and hear what God is saying to you. If you are always surrounded by noise and opinions, you will never find your own voice. Focusing on yourself also means taking a hard look at your daily routines. Your life is a reflection of what you do every day, not what you say you want to do once a year. If you want a different result, you have to be willing to change your habits. This might mean waking up earlier to work on your goals, or it might mean spending less time on things that don't add value to your life. Discipline is not a punishment. It is the highest form of self-love. It is telling your future self that you care enough about them to work hard today. When you master your schedule, you master your life. You stop being a victim of your day and you start being the leader of it. You must also learn to celebrate your own progress even when no one else is clapping. Most of your biggest wins will happen in the dark. They will be the days you chose to be kind when you were angry, the days you stayed consistent when you were tired, and the days you kept your faith when everything looked hopeless. These quiet victories are what build the character needed for the big moments. If you only work hard when people are watching, you are looking for fame, not growth. But when you work hard because you value your own potential, you are building something that can never be taken away from you. Remember that your focus is your most valuable asset. The world is full of people who want to sell you their ideas, their products, and their opinions. If you don't have a firm grasp on who you are and what you want, you will be pulled in 1,000 different directions. By staying focused on yourself, you are setting a boundary that protects your peace of mind. You are saying that your life is worth the effort and that your goals are worth the sacrifice. Don't let the speed of the world make you feel like you are failing. Nature doesn't rush, yet everything gets done. Your season is coming, and as long as you stay focused on your own lane, you will get exactly where you are supposed to be. As you continue to move forward, you must realize that staying focused is a lifelong commitment, not a one-time event. There will be days when the old urge to compare yourself to others comes back with a vengeance. You will see someone else's highlight reel and feel a momentary sting of inadequacy. In those moments, you have to remind yourself that your journey is tailor-made for you. God didn't design your life to be a race against your neighbor. He designed it to be a discovery of your own potential. When you feel that pull toward comparison, use it as a signal to look even deeper within yourself. Ask yourself what you can improve in your own heart instead of wondering why someone else seems to be ahead. True focus also requires you to be honest about your own weaknesses. You cannot fix what you are unwilling to face. When you focus on yourself, you are not just looking at your strengths. You are also looking at the areas where you need to grow. Maybe you need to work on your patience, your temper, or your consistency. Instead of hiding these flaws, bring them to the light. When you take ownership of your mistakes, they lose their power over you. You stop being afraid of being found out and start being excited about being transformed. This level of honesty is rare in a world that wants everyone to pretend they are perfect. But your power is found in your authenticity. You also have to understand that as you grow, your circle may get smaller, but it will also get stronger. You cannot take everyone with you into the next season of your life. Some people were only meant to be in your life for a specific chapter, and trying to force them into the next one will only cause friction and distraction. Let go of the need to be understood by everyone. As long as you are following the peace in your heart and the direction God has given you, you are on the right track. The people who are meant to walk with you will recognize your growth and will be inspired by it rather than intimidated by it. Finally, remember that the greatest gift you can give the world is a healthy, focused, and purposeful version of yourself. When you are at your best, you have more love to give, more wisdom to share, and more light to shine. By focusing on yourself, you are actually becoming a better friend, a better parent, and a better leader. You are setting an example for others to follow. You are showing them that it is possible to live a life of intention rather than a life of reaction. Keep your eyes fixed on your goals and your heart anchored in your faith. The noise will fade, the distractions will disappear, and you will eventually find yourself exactly where you were always meant to be.